What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your Celebrity Big Brother review. Let me say something. First of all, this was a hour full, okay, from beginning to end. Usually with Big Brother, I can fast forward through a lot of stuff because you know what they doing. But this one, honey, there's a whole lot going on, and these celebrities came to play. They're not doing this slow walking mess that you see sometimes in Big Brother, where they don't try to make big swings early on in the game and all that good stuff. So it was a lot going on. So let's start from the beginning. I was going to do this review tomorrow, but I got done watching this episode and was like, shoot, let me go ahead and get this out now. I went to dinner tonight. That's why it's late, and I was just going to go to bed. It's past my bedtime, but honey, y'all going to get it tonight. So first of all, this alliance is already on life support. It was in critical condition last night, but it's on life support tonight. Matter of fact, it might be DOA. But, well, I think by the end of the episode, it was DOA. At the beginning, it was in critical condition. So, life support, I should say. So, the girls are looking at Ryan and Jonathan with the side eye because, again, they thought that the nominations were going to be one thing. Ryan and Jonathan go have a little private conversation, come out, and nominations are changed. So their thing is, if we're supposed to be in an alliance, how you not letting us know what's going on? Like, what's up with that? We're in an alliance, but don't nobody know who's doing what to who, when, where, and how. And so Tamar, let me tell y'all something. Now, at the beginning of this episode, I was loving me some Tamar. I was like, see, this is the Tamar that I love. She ain't doing too much. She not being extra. By the end of the episode, she was getting on my nerves, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, Tamar was like, look, we need to make some big moves. I don't trust Jonathan. I don't know what's going on, but that's not an alliance. When you don't know, you're not telling us what's going on, and I'm starting to feel like they got their own thing going on, and maybe we need to make a big move. Her and Lolo was like, yeah, maybe we need to. Now, Natalie was like, now ain't the time. We need to just chill out and let this play out. We always got time to go for it. But Tamar was like, he on the block now. Like, now is the time to get him. He is on the block. And I was like, see, that's when I was like, oh, they came to play. Tamar said, ain't no need in waiting. What we waiting for? We're going to wait for him to be on the block again. He might not get on the block again. But if we feel like we can't trust him, or we feel like he going to come for us, then we need to go for him. I said, okay, I see this. I see where we're going with this. So, then we have Tamar's in the bed chilling, reading her Bible. Because, you know, in Big Brother, the only thing you're allowed to take to read are your religious, if you're the Quran or the Bible or whatever your religious document is. So when I saw her reading, I knew it had to be the Bible. She's in the bed. Natalie comes in the room and says to Lolo, so what we gonna name our final two? Tamar's sitting there like, oh, okay. They don't see her. And they start talking about what they're going to name their final two. Lolo sees Tamar first, and she tried to give Natalie the shut the fuck up look. And Natalie was like, what? Why are you looking at me like that? So then she's like, Tamar. Tamar was like, So they try to back out of it. Talking about oh, girl, I knew you were there. Tamar was like, stop it. No, you didn't. Don't. She was like, come on now, Becky. Come on better. And I was like, all right, Tamar, that was a little bit much. Calling her Becky. You might be doing too much. And she was like, so, you know, she said, no, what it was you ain't know I was in here. Like, let's be real. Don't just cut the bullshit. You ain't know I was in here. So, y'all got a final two. And Tamar was like, you know what? In the grand scheme of things, I'm really not tripping. Everybody got alliances right now. Alliances are all over the place. So, it just is what it is. Just come clean. You ain't got to lie, Craig. So, then Lolo tries to talk her out of it or whatever. And Tamar was like, now, come on now, Lolo. Don't get slapped. Honey, Lolo was like, oh, I could fight now. We were to slap each other. She was like, don't come at me like that. She was like, now, you know, don't come at me like that. Tamar was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Did we get serious just now? Lola was like, look, I don't know you. You don't know me well enough. When somebody come at me and they threaten me, I take it serious. I will fight. Tamar was like, first of all, I'm not getting ready to fight nobody because I ain't messing up my face. She was like, second of all, that's how I talk. And she said, Lola was like, well, look at it from my point of view. I don't know you well enough to know that you playing. We don't know each other well enough that I know that that's what you say all the time. You said, don't get smacked. And in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you about to smack me. So they sort of brought it down a little bit. They sort of talked it out and everything. So they go up. Now this is where shit started going kind of left for me a little bit. They made up, but they still saying that they don't trust Jonathan and Ryan. Now they go up to the head of household room. That's Ryan's room technically. They're looking at the camera and they're talking about, now all of a sudden, now Natalie's on board talking about she don't trust them and da-da-da-da-da. And Tamar was like, look, I ain't stupid. They up to something. I know something's going on. So Ryan and Jonathan come into the head of household room and they get quiet. And then there's this awkward silence. And then they were like, all right, well, let's go. And they get up and leave. So, of course, then Jonathan and Ryan, whereas they weren't really thinking it was a problem, now they're like, what's really going on here? Like, that was really awkward. And I know enough about Big Brother to know that when you walk into a room and people stop talking, they talking about you. And I ain't really crazy about how things are moving here. What's good? So Ryan was like, look, I know we supposed to be in an alliance and all, but if it's going to be a problem, like, I can stir the pot. I can win that veto and put one of them on the block, and let's get this thing going. I said, see, we're playing fucking Big Brother. This is Big Brother. So the guys go back downstairs. They're in the kitchen. Now, Lolo in her confessional is talking about how she's upset with Ryan because they both were in the Olympics together, and his alliance is supposed to be with her because they have history and they done been through the fire together. And she comes right out and says, and I'm a little bit jealous that he seems to be closer to Jonathan than to me. I said, now see, here's where the emotions get involved. So Lolo says, she comes back downstairs and she was like, there go the final two, huh? And she points to their pictures on the wall and then she flips them the bird. So now they are really like, what the fuck is going on here? So now they really looking at Lolo like, okay, she just flipped us the bird. She just made those smart ass comments about us being final two. Yeah, maybe it's time for her to get on the block. Maybe we need to get, because we don't know what's up with her. We don't know what's good with her. I said, okay, Lolo, you done fucked yourself up. So you done showed too much of your emotion right there. Be mad, be emotional or whatever, but go in your room and do that shit. Don't let them see you flipping them the bird and stuff. Like, I would feel the same way. I'd be like, okay, what kind of alliance we have? You flipping me the bird. So, time to play for the power veto. I ain't gonna prolong this. It ended up being all guys. It was Joey, Ricky, and then the guys that's on the block. Joey said off the break, I ain't trying to win. However, Tamar clocked him, and Tamar was like, come on, Joey, you supposed to be a better actor than that. You've been acting since you were 5 years old. It is obvious that you were throwing this comp. Like, you got to be a little bit more convincing. And it was ridiculous how obvious it was that he was throwing the comp. Now, Ricky's thing was, I ain't really trying to play for this veto, but I'm going to compete because I'm a competitor. Like, I can't not try. And of course, Ryan wants to win it because now he mad at Lolo and like, shit, maybe it's time for her to go on the block. Let me win this veto. Or at least let me win this veto so I can control what's going on. I can take Jonathan off the block. Or Jonathan can take himself if he wins. So the competition was, they got to ride the horse. They had to, like the little toy horses. So they had to ride the horse for 30 clicks. Then they could get off for like 30 seconds. And they had to build gold bars on this horseshoe, but it was rotating. So, and whoever built it first without it falling and hit the button wins the power veto. So, I ain't gonna prolong this. Ricky won. So, Ricky has the power veto. Ricky's thing is, I really didn't want it, but now that I have it, let me see what I can do with it. Now, remember I told y'all yesterday that Ricky was really laying low, like they ain't even show him half the damn episode. So, Ricky stirs the pot, right? Actually, no, let me start from the beginning. Ryan went to Ricky and told him, look, what you going to do with that veto? And he told him, look, I want you to take Jonathan off so I can put Lolo on. And Ricky was like, I don't know about that. And he was like, well, what you mean you don't know about that? He was like, and he told about the whole thing that went down with Lolo or whatever. So Ricky takes his happy ass right into the girls' room and tells them exactly what Ryan just said. He was like, look, I just got done talking to Ryan. Ryan want me to use the power of veto so he can put you up, Lolo. What's good with that? He told me y'all had an alliance, but now he's saying it's more boys than girls, and we can get y'all out of here. So what's good? And Ricky's thing was, he said, because Ricky's into Chinese medicine and all that everything, so and energy and stuff. So he was like, what I found is that the people in this house can't deal with stress, and I figure the more I stir the pot, the more stress. The more I can stress everybody out, and that'll work to my advantage because I don't get stressed out because he be high all the time, so he don't get stressed out. So, of course, now Lolo, Tamar, they all in the tailspin like, what is going on? What's Ricky going to do? Oh, my God. Is Ricky telling us the truth, or is he just trying to stir the pot? What's going on with the alliance? And I'm thinking to myself, Lolo, you can't possibly think you still got an alliance. You didn't flip them the damn bird. You done basically told them to kiss your ass. What makes you think you still got an alliance with these guys? Why are you shocked that now they want to get you out the house? You showed your hand. And you didn't go have a conversation with Ryan and say, look, I'm a little upset because I felt like me and you have a bond. We went through something that nobody else in this house has gone through together. We know each other from the Olympic Village or from whatever. We done this. I feel like I'm a little out the loop. See, communication is key. Now, while all that is going on, now we got a whole nother situation. Tamar and Candy. Tamar decides that she needs to clear the air with Candy. I'm not going to get into their whole history, but just to suffice to say, they had a little blip that happened when Tamar was on tour with Escape last year, and at the same time, Tamar was going through a divorce. At the same time, there were, allegations. Her career was sort of in a bad place. There was a lot going on with Tamar emotionally. She was fighting with her sisters. There was a lot going on with her. And she felt like Candy and her group were being disrespectful to her while they were on tour. That they were doing things while she was trying to, do her set and just a lot. And there was another situation that went down. I ain't going to go into all of that, where Tamar brought some people to sing a song and it was a conflict with that. I could be here for another 30 minutes talking about that. So Tamar decides to talk to Candy about it. Now, Tamar was trying to explain herself to Candy. Candy has this really bad habit, and I had a friend like this in elementary school. Whenever she got uncomfortable, she would laugh, she would giggle. Candy has that. When Candy gets uncomfortable or she's in a situation where she doesn't really know how to respond, she laughs. It's not meant to be offensive, but I can see how it would be offensive to someone who doesn't know that. But watching her on Real Housewives and seeing her go through conflict, this is just how Candy is. I'm not saying that it's okay. So Tamar was like, you laughing, and I'm trying to explain to you why I'm upset. I'm trying to, explain to you what was going on, and you're laughing. And Candy was like, I'm sorry, all Candy should have said, or could have said, I would say should have said, was, I didn't realize you were going through that at the time, and I'm sorry for anything I did to add to that stress. I can't go back. I can't change it. I'm sorry. Right? That would have been the end of it. But see, Tamar, you know how Tamar is. So Tamar was getting extra. Tamar was going off. She was like, see, this I'm not going to do. The laughing, I'm not going to do that. Now you're being disrespectful. And Candy was like, what? How am I disrespecting you? She was like, all I'm saying is, I just don't even understand why we're upset. Like, I don't understand why you're mad. I don't understand why you're upset. Now, I understood what Tamar was saying. But in Candy's mind, she was like, we were not intentionally trying to throw her off. We were not intentionally, disrespecting her. If that's how she took it, that it wasn't done. She was like, we were happy she was on tour with us. We were happy she was there. So, no, we were not intentionally trying to throw her off. But Candy couldn't stop laughing. Because in Candy's mind, it was petty. And she even said something about this being petty. And Tamar was like, see, that's what I'm saying. You calling it petty, but I'm telling you how it hurt me. I'm telling you how it upset me. So, Tamar has a tendency to go from 0 to 100. And I feel like Tamar went from 0 to 100. However, I understand why Tamar felt the way she felt. Because like I said, if I'm pouring myself out to somebody and they're laughing at me, I don't know how I'm going to react to it either. But then I also saw where Candy was coming from. Like, look, we weren't intentionally trying to do anything. Can we just move on? And so then Candy finally, she said, look, maybe we just don't need to have this conversation while we in the house. And Tamar brought up a good point. Tamar was like, now, like I know. Once we leave this house, me and you ain't going to talk about it. She said, unless we build a bond here, unless we start, building up a friendship with each other here, we're not going to talk about it. So now all this arguing is going on while Ricky is stirring the pot. So when Tamar finds out about the situation with trying to put Lolo on the block, Tamar tells Candy, look, we got bigger fish to fry. Let's just hug it out. Let's just move on. I heard what you said. You heard what I said. Now Tamar was like, look, sometimes you just gotta move on because I got bigger fish to fry. Because for real, Lolo my girl for real, and I'm trying to keep her in this house. So because the way the whole conversation started was Candy went to Tamar and was like, look, you're the only person I knew before I came into this house. So honestly, I would rather connect with you because at least I know you somewhat. You know what I mean? She was like, I'm not going to vote against you. And that's when Tamar was like, well, I think we need to clear the air first. So I don't think it's done. I don't think that's a wrap. I do believe that there's going to be more conversations had. However, and then there was a point where they showed Tamar was just totally breaking down. Like she was in the confessional. I mean, she was crying, and I mean it was hurt. But again, I don't think that was all about Candy. I think that was about the last year. Tamar's life has been hard. For as much as Tamar irritates my soul, and she does sometimes because she does a lot. She's extra, and she is a little bratty. She can be very bratty. But I think that it's a lot. It's a lot for anybody to go through a public divorce, a nasty divorce. Your career be going through the turmoil that it went through. And then she had the situation where her and her sister sort of fell out. That's a lot. And that's a lot for anybody. So I think it's real. Like, again, there are times when I think Tamar's extra, but I really think those were real emotions we saw. I think that was raw what we saw. The veto ceremony. So at the end of the day, Ricky said, I ain't using the veto. Ricky said, I mean, basically, I ain't really want no blood on my hands. He said, I used the power veto to stir the pot. I used the power veto to sort of build some relationships. He said, but at the end of the day, it wasn't really nobody up there I wanted to save. I don't care who go home. Ricky gonna be funny. I don't know how long he gonna be here, but he funny. So anyway, y'all, that's how things went down tonight. Friday, we have the live eviction, but then they say there's a twist coming where 2 people might be going home. So, honey, all this shit might be mute because it might be a whole new ball game come Friday night. Anyway, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.